What do you want to look at yourself? You don't want to see me? You're a real piece of trash.
I want to see you.
Yeah, you want to see. You're like, how do I see more of me?
I guess it does sound weird.
Yeah, it does kind of like, yo, you're ugly as I don't want to see you.
That's not what I'm saying. It's not about you. It's about me, Bobby.
No, it's about me being attacked by you, as always.
It's about me making sure that my bags under my eyes aren't as bad as yours.
As bad as mine?
I'm just kidding. You look tired, though.
That's why I wear glasses. That's the only reason I wear the glasses.
The same here, man.
It's because it kind of like dilutes my eyes. Here we go, Sunday morning, that time when we get together, Sean and I, we do this little podcast called If We Ran Nintendo, but we'd be remiss if we did not kick this episode off with the thanking of the patrons over on Patreon, starting off with our gold members, Brendan Myers, James Johnson, Ryan Turfer, Coach Timbo, Sheldon Benedict, Joel Brooks, Dawn Becker. Then we move right into our platinum producers, the two people on holiday, just making us all jealous with the pictures they're posting all over the world, as always. Nasty Boots and Tammy, congratulations and having a good time, and happy birthday, Tammy, to you. Diamond executive producers, Mr. Bobby Miller, Lee Navarro, Corey Hicks, Jonathan Brown. Let's get on with the show.
We ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 168 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby! Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the people who watched the video over on youtube.com/Nintendo Guru, because it's a little bit different this week. You are recording the video this time.
Yeah.
We're side by side the entire time. Yeah. So when you're reading off the patrons and when you're introing the show and everything like that, it's been a long time since we've had us sitting side by side on the video, so I'm melting along. I just got taken back like probably 2 years just now. Just doing that along with you, man. Yeah. It's good to see you. You stole my shout out to Tammy. Happy birthday, Tammy. You're nasty. Holy cow.
Yeah.
These guys know how to celebrate our birthday.
Oh my lord, right? And they're both, I could not be prouder. Could not be prouder. Tammy is no longer a Sony pony. She's in the Nintendo world.
Yeah,
Nasty bought her a Switch, some Splatoon. Yeah, easy for me to say. Some Splatoon 2 and all this. I love it. And they're prepping themselves for Overwatch. That's what they're doing. They're getting ready for that Overwatch goodness. Can't wait.
They could play. I mean, that's the whole. They could play Overwatch on the go, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bobby, shout out to Lincoln. Lincoln is getting don't tell him. Lincoln is getting a 2DS for Christmas.
Really?
And he's getting any Mario game that we have. We were basically just like bundling it and everything. But I fired up like essentially a 3DS like for the first time in forever. And did you know the system's pretty good, Bobby? That system is actually pretty decent.
Pretty spectacular.
And that 2DS, I don't know if you've held one in a long time. I think it's sturdy as crap. We've all gotten used to the fragility of the Switch. And looking at this thing, I could jam it under the doorstop and everything. Like, I cannot wait for him to have it. He's probably not.
He ain't gonna know
such a YouTube generation, though.
Yeah,
I'm actually a little bit worried about it. Like, apparently it's a thing among even like kids before you even really know what YouTube is. They don't want to play games. They just want to watch games. And it's such an interesting concept. I don't know how that happens. Yeah, like, how does that just like generationally just switch? It's not like he's talking to anybody. Like, you know what I prefer? I prefer to watch and not play. Like, he just likes to play. Like,
that's crazy, right?
Or he just likes to watch. So yeah, it's very, very interesting.
It's different. So anyway,
like your shirt.
Thank you very much. You can see more of it now because you got the different camera on it.
It's very nice.
So you can see this, but the people can't see and all that stuff. So that's a
titties
good
for
thing
those biddies. Yep.
Let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout outs.
Geek outs. Oh, I don't have any geek outs, Bobby, but Lincoln's 2DS is my geek out.
I have an amazing geek out, but it's in the other room and I can't really whatever. And I'm not doing Geek Outs this week because Toby and I aren't going to be recording together because some glitch, some issues, but whatever.
Oh,
no. It's nothing major. It's just his landlord had to come in and do some repairs, and it's too noisy for him to record today.
Oh, well, so nobody cares about that. All right, shout out to Jam Jam. Just kidding. I love you, Toby. I hope
wow, dude. The guy can literally have the house falling around, down around him, and you're just like, whatever, dude. Whatever.
I just thought,
wow,
laugh, but
that's
really
brutal.
That. All right. Well,
so much for the nice Canadian to be very unnice.
I had like 4 hours sleep. I'm a little tired, but that's okay. We've got our coffee. You've got your Wawa. Shout out to James Johnson. I meant to give a shout out last week because he launched his latest video, Bobby. Did you see this? He's got like a 30-minute Star Ocean review.
all that stuff. Yeah,
it is so damn good, and everybody needs to go over to youtube.com/jamsgams. Drop a like, drop a comment, and most importantly of all, on Twitter @jamsgams. Go let them know that you watched it. Go let them know that you enjoyed it. It means the world, man. Jams, I love you, dude.
I'm confused about something.
What's wrong?
Just before the show, I said we're not going to do shout-outs. Yeah, we're gonna do one gigantic shout-out.
We're going to do that, too.
And you just basically make me look like an idiot.
Listen.
Because I didn't bring a shout-out.
Oh, you made me look like an idiot last week because we just rolled right through, and I'm like, I promised him a shout-out. I watched it, I said, looks like a shout-out's coming, and then we didn't get to it. So
well, that's because you're just rude.
I never forget.
Anyway, my shout-out is to Jams.
My shout-out's to Lee Navarro.
No, my shout-out is to Jams and Bad Bit.
And Ryan Turford.
Is Ryan? He's coming?
He's coming, too.
Get out of here!
Okay,
okay, guys, this is getting big. This is getting really big. So, Sean and I have discussed this for numerous years, and Sean did do it one year. You went, you came dressed in a suit, and you did.
That?
I remember that too. Like, it made me want to do Extra Life for many years, and
it made me start streaming.
Yeah, and
Extra Life.
It was amazing. So basically, what it is these wonderful people up in Rome, New York, Lee Navarro, Becky Navarro, and Ray Osorio, El Capitan himself. They basically have this little group called Phoenix Overdrive, right? And they've been doing this for numerous years, where they actually spawned a podcast off of what they were doing to help their fundraising. And they've been doing Extra Life and fundraising for many, many years. And Sean and I had always been in talks to them. Like, I had actually, I think last year, said I was going up. And I backed out just because I couldn't get off of work. And this year, you and I both made the promise that we would come. I actually took off of work. So I'm leaving Friday before Extra Life to get up there and try to get up there. I don't know if I'll make it all the way, but I'll get a hotel room or whatever. But, like, if you are within the vicinity of Rome, New York, and you want to come hang out with us.
Yeah,
and you
Garrett Bland.
Yeah, Garrett, you're more than welcome.
I've been bugging him. He goes on stream, twitch.tv/Bland Explosion. I go on there. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? How's your day? So, Rome, you're coming? I'm breaking him down. I'm either going to, he's either going to come or I'm going to lose him as a friend altogether. It's a line, man.
So the thing is that we're going up there, and we're trying to get as many people involved as possible because we want to try to. The whole object is you're helping children's hospitals, and think about it, man. As a kid, we were lucky to do. At least I know I was, to play games whenever I wanted to play games and just do what I wanted to do and go see my friends and go hang out outside and do all this stuff. There's a lot of kids that are just stuck in hospitals and have no life, essentially. Yep. Like, their life is within these walls. And Extra Life is basically helping to give them things and do things for them and help children's hospitals to fund them and give them fun to do and have a good life and all that. And so I'm really blown away at the generosity and the kindness of the whole Extra Life community, but a lot with the Phoenix Overdrive group, just because they've been doing it for so long. They were doing it when it wasn't cool to do it.
That's true.
And that's the thing. Like, this thing has been around for many, many years, and now you hear people talk about it all the time, and it's
they're like the hipsters of Extra Life. Pretty much.
But essentially, we're all going up there. We got Bad Bit now on board. You can go check out everybody's. I'm going to try to make it a conscious effort this week in the show notes to put links to everybody's Extra Life campaign. So you can go, if you want to go support, be amazing. Even if you can't support financially, if you could just share what we're doing, send it out in a tweet, in a Facebook, whatever. Just say, hey, man, you should support these guys and help them, with their fundraising drive. I don't believe that I'm asking for a whole heck of a lot of money. I mean, I'm asking for $500. I'm trying to get $500 to donate towards it.
Yep.
But we're down to the wire. We got about a month left of this thing, and
this is where it's go time. This is the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that sounds like you're feeling like maybe it's be a little late to be talking about this. This is the time.
Yeah.
Before this, it's a little too early. Nobody really I'll get to it. Now is time.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking about it. Make your plans. It's only a day, number one. But we're going to be hanging out for a little bit as well, Bobby.
Well, the thing is you're going to be coming back with me, and we're going to be doing some stuff. I'm going to talk to you about this afterwards. I have a show that I want to start. It's a new show that I want to do, and I thought you could help me with the inaugural episode. And so we'll get into that. But we're going to do a lot of content together. We're going to have Bad Bit there. We're going to have jams there. Now you're telling me
Nick
Ryan
Militia,
Turford's coming?
You got no excuse. Nick Militia, shut the store down.
Oh, stop
Somebody
it.
else, your wife can take care of it. Everything. Oh, he should totally come, man.
Nick,
come on. Let's go. Nintendo Talk. Everybody, Joe After Work. Let's go. Everybody get after these
Joe
guys
After Work, I believe, is debating it.
I know he is.
I think some of it is just if he can get off of work and all that stuff, and come on, guys. This is
this is the adult sleepover for the sick kids.
Exactly.
All right? It's going to be an amazing time.
Oh, it's
great cause.
This is going to change our proverbial lives in terms of we're doing something really very generous and kind for people, but also we get to live like we're kids again and have a great time. Like if you've never seen Bobby do a lizard run, you want to see this. If you've never seen Bobby do the worm before, you want to come because this is stuff that I do when I get in group settings to make me look like an idiot. So we'll see.
That's right. It's becoming a thing, and the Phoenix Overdrive team in and of itself is a big team. They 3 pages on this roster. I'm just scrolling through. It's 3 pages of people.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big thing. So if you want to have a Comic-Con or an E3 experience where it's just all video games for a weekend, but not have 30,000 people, this is it, man.
Yeah.
This is it. Rome, New York, November 2nd. We're going to have tournaments. There's going to be so many things going on. Even more details about.
And not even that. Let's tip off on this too. Just let's close on this. There are some amazing giveaways they're doing. So if you want to not only donate, but you want to donate in the aspect of hey, I'm going to win stuff. There's raffles. They're giving away Xboxes, PlayStations, Switches. Yep. Sean's donating a skateboard.
I figured out how I'm going to do that, by the way. I can talk about that for a quick second.
Go ahead.
It's going to be donate directly to me, okay? Every $10 that you give gets you one entry into a raffle to win that skateboard.
Okay.
I'm going to have a couple of raffles going on directly on mine. I know I was kind of going back and forth because the way Phoenix Overdrive does it, they would have a separate page for you can win an Xbox, you donate directly to that page.
Yeah.
I don't want to have multiple pages, so just my page. The number one prize is the skateboard. It really is priceless.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them in the world.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm going to be giving away this hard drive, 2 terabyte Gears of War hard drive as well. We got more stuff coming in, man. So $10 gets you an entry into the giveaways. So, and then the day of course, we're going to be plugging that as well throughout the day. Doing a lot of things if you give now, we'll do this, or we'll give away this, so you can win that, and things like that. So, dude, it's happening. Yeah. I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
It's practically a month away. You're right.
You're right.
It's practically a month away.
We're right there. Okay, so, Sean, I wanted to start the show probably a little bit differently than we typically do in terms of, rather than just diving into an If We Ran Nintendo topic, I wanted to talk about Link's Awakening.
Okay.
And I'm on record as saying that this game is bad. That it's not a great Zelda game. That it's not
the original one.
Yeah. What I'm saying is this is what. So anybody that ever talked to me previously of playing this game on the Switch, I just never, liked it. Never thought it was good. Never enjoyed it. And then, man, I started last Friday. I streamed the first 2 levels that I got. And then I played the rest offline. And there's a duality to my love for this game now.
Yeah, same here.
One, I think the game's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I think partly the problem why I didn't like it was because it was hard because of the multi-mechanics. The Game Boy was not the place for that game. That game should have been on a Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo? Yeah.
Yes, because... you needed way too many buttons to do things, and you weren't able to do it with 2 buttons. So you'd be in the middle of boss battles trying to change out inventory because you'd have to jump and then switch to the sword and then jump and then switch to the bombs. It was just like...
No kidding.
It was way too much nonsense. It was way too big of a game for that little console. So playing it again as a proper... with proper controls, meaning like one button handles the dash, and one button handles the shield, and one button handles the sword, and then 2 buttons handle all the rest of the inventory. And you got to change out enough inventory as it is, but it feels more like a Zelda game now.
Exactly, yeah. It feels so much that you forget that that's how it was originally built. Like, it's really like people don't really. I don't think people realize that it's the same. It's the same type of thing with the abilities and whatnot, or the weapons. But 2 buttons. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize that, Bobby.
And basically, I look at it as a quality of life improvement. They've basically fixed what was wrong with that game, for me, personally. Rolled credits yesterday, and it's the first time I ever saw the end result of the entire game.
Right.
Blown away, dude. Yeah. Very, very emotional moment. And it's just like, you watch it, it's just like, wow, this is amazing. But
it's challenging too, so it's worth it. Like, to get to that point.
Oh my god,
it's not easy, man.
It's not easy to get there, and then the final fight is just handily probably one of my all-time favorite battles. Final boss battles in a Zelda game.
Wow, really?
I will go as far as to say that the final boss battle in this blows Breath of the Wild's final boss battle.
I knew that you didn't really hold that with very high regard either, but that really this game is pushing back on me a little bit, man, and I'm loving it. But it's not as you got to do your work.
Oh yeah,
and you kind of have to decide if you're just gonna like go to a walkthrough and figure out where do you go to find out what's next, or do you explore the world a little bit? Yeah. And Link's a little slow. I remember there being a dash. Do you get a dash?
There's a dash. Yeah.
Okay, I still have to find like bananas. At this point, I'm being told if you want bananas, just go to the beach and get some bananas. Yeah, there's
a vendor that sells them or whatever.
Well, I want to buy. He wants canned food.
Yeah, you gotta get. That's the thing. There's a trading thing that happens within the game, and you have to do the trading system.
Right.
I stopped about 3 trades shy of finishing. I was like, I don't need this. I'm only going to get this item. I don't want that item. I care. And I was like, oh no. You need to finish it. You need to finish the trading in order to get. It's just crazy.
That's why I did the dungeon thing, because I thought that might have been what was blocking me a little bit. I found I can now build my own dungeons, arrange my own dungeons, and everything.
That's pretty cool.
One, nothing happened. I'm like, maybe I have to go beat it, and then he gives me another like piece or something to go in there. So
pretty impressive. But here's the other thing that I want to talk about. This is the other dynamic to it that has made this so amazing for me. So you can't really see right now, but I got 3 switches behind me. It's the switch lights. So I did the transfer right over with my switch light, but I didn't load it up with all my games because this is my handheld. So I only put what games I have to have on it right at this moment. I didn't load it up and fill the 32 gig. So I will now delete Zelda out because I have my big switch that's docked and into the TV there. Cloud saving? Sean?
Did you go back and forth? Yeah.
Yes, I did. It has automatic cloud saving, so that way it's turned on. You have to turn it on. You know what I mean? You do the first cloud save itself and then you basically go and you like back it up on the one, and then go to the other one and back it up and or you don't back it up. You back it up on the one to the cloud, then you go on the other one and you download it from the cloud. So that way both consoles are up to date, and then you turn it on to automatic. So what was happening was I'd finish the one, it would back it up, the other one would automatically download it, and it was done. And then I would just jump in and start playing on the other one. And man, let me tell you what. Right now, I am super pissed off that we're not getting cloud saving with Animal Crossing.
Well, no kidding. This is what I've been talking about.
No, but what I'm saying to you is this setup is so perfect.
This is
and
what
I
I've been
didn't
saying. This is what's so frustrating talking to Nintendo fans is you can say about a feature that on other things and like, it's whatever, who cares? That's not a big deal. And then they get it and they're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. You're like, dude, this is what I've been saying. This is why I was like, I would rather play on a different platform. Almost like once you get used to it, it's amazing. I'm glad that it works. It still sounds like an arduous, like to have to actually set it up rather than just have your username on.
It doesn't. Well, you do. You set it up initially when you do your whole setup, and then because you have to re-download the games. Obviously, you have to re-download the games over to the new one. Once you re-download the games on the new console, you have to set up the cloud save stuff. The cloud save is already working on my regular Switch. I don't really understand. It's because you don't have it in your hands. If you had it in your hands, it's easy. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is I just want it to be known that like I'm utilizing both. Phenomenal. And the one thing I want to correct myself that I said last week was you cannot play two consoles at the same time with the same name.
Oh, okay.
That will not happen. It actually.
I thought so. I thought they had
It actually kicks you off the other one.
Yeah.
Like it literally just shuts the console down. So the console that is your home system. The minute the primary console turns on, the other one turns off.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was just trying to watch YouTube. I was trying to have YouTube on the one while I was sitting back here. I was exporting something, right? Yeah. So I had YouTube playing on the... I couldn't use the computer. So I'm exporting. I had YouTube playing up on the TV. I was like, you know what? Let me just grab this, play a couple levels. And the minute I started playing, boom. I was like, well, that's not going to happen. So... Mm-hmm. But I'm very, very happy with it. So.
Imagine if we got a Super Mario Land remake. Like, because that's a weird Game Boy Mario game. And I think we've done topics about this in the past as well. Right? But old Game Boy games that you can kind of like remake and reimagine and stuff. And that would just be super interesting because you could I wouldn't do like the 2D thing. Like, you'd probably still want to expand the perspective a little bit, maybe do the 3D world or land type of stuff that they did on Wii U and 3DS. But it was such a weird game, and this Link's Awakening also a bit of a weird game, like with the Mario characters and the change in perspective, and very strange. But man, it would be this just makes me want Mario games to be done in the same way, but it's never going to happen.
No, that's because me and Moto don't want Mario games remade. But
just let him pass, and
it's never going to happen. I think they'll respect.
Never going to pass. I know he's
but I also think they're not going to go against his wishes. Like that's his final wish. In Japan, they're very respectful. They're very respectful, so they're not like the United States. He's dead. Let's steal all his stuff and start doing like.
Now he's out of the way.
In Japan, they're just like, no. This is what he wanted. This is what
You know what? There's something to that, maybe.
There's a lot to it, but
probably learn that.
But the one thing too is, I want them now to go back and start remaking other Zeldas, like other 2D top-down Zeldas. Mm-hmm. Like this game really. Oh man, so good.
Do you mean like the DS stuff? Because we kind of got
Oracle Seasons and all that stuff. Like redo them, like do those.
Anything with a touch mechanic, anything where you're moving Link around by touching the screen, just get rid of that. And
I wouldn't mind. Playable. I wouldn't mind them redoing the original. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't because that one it doesn't hold like Link to the Past. It has a sweet, a soft spot to me.
Though, right?
I know. I'm afraid to touch that one, but at the same time, it's like I wouldn't mind them doing it. At this point, I could go play the original anytime. Do it because a lot of people. Because here's the thing.
Allowed though, like this. That's the thing. This one was like nobody was thinking about this. Like nobody holds this like really sacred in their hearts. It's
exactly.
Like, go nuts. They could do whatever they wanted. They obviously did, and it worked out. Yeah, I think the original is kind of like. I don't know how this Final Fantasy VII remake is going to go, but man, you mess that up, like even in the smallest way, and people are gonna be pretty.
Well, Minish Cap would be another one to get redone. That's a really good story and all that stuff.
In both Zelda, I'm sorry for interrupting. Both Zelda and in Mario, there are games that like people are like about. I feel like Wind Waker was one of those games. People were, especially when it came out, nobody liked cutesy Link, and so they doing a remake. It wasn't quite to this degree of the reimagination.
Yeah.
It's kind of what people needed. They're just like this, hey, now, now everybody knows what Toon Link is all about, and it's okay that he's not like the grown-up, or we've got now the grown-up Link.
Yeah.
It made it okay. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to go back and remake some of those games. Some less sacred than others, though.
Yeah. I'm happy with what they did with it. It's really
nice, man.
Tremendous.
Do you know how long it took you?
I could look it up. With my,
it's not a big deal.
No, I don't know off the top of my head. I think I want to say it took me probably 10 hours esque.
Is it like the same? Like, do you remember playing the original and then playing this and going like, I know where to go next, I don't know what to do next?
No,
like, is it that?
No.
I mean, it's a long time.
I mean, I literally had to go back and like I had to do walkthroughs through some of it because I was just like stumped. I got to one section, I literally could not find a key. And I was just like, I'm going all through the dungeons over and over and over. And I'm like, I'm just wasting time here. This is ridiculous. So I pulled up a map and started going through, and I'm like, okay, this the 3 rooms, the keys are in. I was going to go back to those rooms. And then sure enough, there was one thing I didn't do, and then the key popped. And I was like, okay, now I can move on.
It was the same thing for me, and it reminded me that back in the day, you had an instruction booklet that would actually help. And in this case, there was one where it said, kill the Pole's voice or whatever, and then the skeletal guy. And I'm like, I don't know what a Pole's voice is. It doesn't sound like an enemy or a character. I thought it was somebody's voice. It's
a weird looking bunny rabbit type thing.
A little bunny rabbit,
jumps,
and I didn't understand that. So yeah, like then you get that tip in one room, and then a couple rooms later, that's where you see them both in the same place, and then the key drops. And man, I was actually looking outside the dungeon for this damn key. I didn't know what this was.
You know what's crazy? So the Pole's voice, what hurts them in this game is the ocarina.
Oh.
So if I'm not mistaken,
I have to pick up a pot and throw it at them, and that's what.
Oh no! You can. If I'm not mistaken, I thought it was the ocarina could mess them up.
I don't have it.
And so, but here's the thing, right? In the original Zelda, they're there, right? In the Famicom edition, which was Japan, you had speakers built into the controllers, and the one had a microphone. Player 2, I believe, had the microphone. And if you talked into it, it would mess them up.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like a playback.
That's some Kojima stuff right there, man. Like, that's some Metal Gear Solid.
Nintendo was Kojima before Kojima was Kojima.
It's almost like they came from the same place.
Yeah, so that's...
We like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And
Game
I
of
think
the Year territory?
Can't be for me because it's a remake.
Yeah.
And I would pull that out of it. But I think that if this was a ground up, I would go, yeah. Now, here's the question I want to ask you. Because I remember when I first talked about this, and I said this was a Grezzo game. And people were like, no. Watching the credits roll, Grezzo was involved in this.
Grezzo, of course, yeah.
So, because I remember saying that, and people were like, no, they never said it was Grezzo. And I was like, it's got to be Grezzo, right?
I feel like it was known. It seemed like people were talking about that.
I was flat out told on Twitter, it is not Grezzo. I was told,
I remember that.
You're assuming things, and I was like, okay. But anyway, my point is, I don't want to get too much into that. Sure. But my point is if it is a Grezzo game, it makes me wonder, what is the B Team Zelda working on? Mm-hmm. And will we see a new Zelda this year? Now, a lot of people are going like, oh, we got to see Breath of the Wild 2. Well, do we? We could get, well, in theory, if we did get that, then you would think the next year, if you got a top-down Zelda again, that was a 2D, and it was a brand new game from the ground up, man, this is exciting. And this right now, right, what we are experiencing at this moment, this is what you and I talked about, and what I had said many times was, this is why the two teams are no good. Having a team making for the 3DS and having a team making for the Wii U at the time was no good. You need both teams working on big games and doing stuff, because here you are now, you have one company that just remakes games, one company that works on your A, your 3, and when I say A team, B team, I don't mean like the quality. There's still quality, but like A team meaning you work on the third person or the big 3D games, and then you work on the 2D games, top down stuff. We potentially have the ability now to possibly get a Zelda almost every year, but unlike what Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft were doing, there are different versions, different styles.
Super fresh.
Yeah,
and it's so great. It's so one of the things I wanted to comment on was the fact that we find ourselves with this Switch where Mario sold very, very well, obviously with Odyssey, but Zelda is selling like crazy right now. Zelda's always been in a special place for Nintendo fans for a long time, but like we've talked a lot about how like it's actually surprising how little some of these games sell.
Yeah.
So now you've got Breath of the Wild, you've got this game, you've actually got I think 3 or 4 actual Zelda games or Zelda branded games.
Yeah.
And Zelda's really helping to move units in a big way. It's not just a heartfelt, like there's data behind it. And I wish, to your point about Assassin's Creed, I wish the Mario team would figure this out, because we go forever without a Mario game now. Yeah. The last one was, I think, split. I came around to it. I think a lot of people still think that it wasn't an 11 out of 10, Justin Masson. But wouldn't it be amazing if we had, like, if they could start getting that train rolling, where we've got Zelda A and B, and then Mario A and B, and looking retrospectively, like, it's super frustrating because you could have been doing this the whole time, but instead we've got New Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 17, like. Well, with the Zelda, when they go back to a 2D, when they go back to the smaller games, they're changing up that style. Like, it's always been a little bit different. But Mario, they just kept going back to that same well.
Let me just ask you a question, though. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are they able to do what Zelda's doing? Meaning, and when I get into this, is because Mario is in so many games. So are they able to go like, hey, we're going to give you a 3D Mario this year, and then a 2D next year, and then a remake or whatever in between? Or is that just too much Mario? Because you also have Mario Kart and Mario Tennis and Mario Golf and Mario Soccer, and, you know, just Smash has Mario over abundance of Mario. It's just like, Mario's on everything. So I wonder if, because, and this is why I want to say this, is because I feel like Zelda is becoming the number one now,
right?
As opposed to Mario, and
that's not my point. I'm thinking like, well, still Mario, still I think edges Zelda out, but it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point, much more equal. Where like in Nintendo fans, Mario and Zelda, like we're like those are the pillars. But in like the data doesn't really say that. Like the data tells us that that Mario is like king, and he'll sell like almost 2 to 1 in some cases. Yeah. But now it's kind of a little bit more even. So I don't know, man. You know what I think about that is it puts the Mario sort of like side games, like the tennis and the soccer and everything else. I think it actually puts them more in their place because it seems like they're kind of like lifted up on this pillar pedestal or something, but they shouldn't be, because it's like, well, you haven't seen Mario in a bit, but you're getting a Mario tennis game. You're like, it's not really what I wanted.
I know.
It sells well enough. But to me, if we had like 3D and then 2D kind of like remake or something like that, or reimagining or whatever, and then tennis or strikers, it just kind of, it balances things out a little bit. To me, that makes more logical sense. That's like 1, 2, and 3 instead of this huge gap between like Mario Odyssey and then Mario Tennis. Like,
and not only that, like I feel like they've kind of eaten the 2D Mario games up by Mario Maker.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I feel like Mario Maker is kind of,
that's why.
And don't get me wrong, I'm done with Mario Maker. I know a lot of people still play it and love it.
It's heartbreaking. I see like Antonio Guillen, he's still playing people's levels. I think Shell Shock Prime was playing some people's levels. Like, dude, like it's just there's too many games. That's number one.
Well, that's number one. There are way too many games.
It as fresh as it is and as amazing as the levels were this year, like it's just not enough to really keep me around, I guess. Yeah. Like I don't know. It just on to this.
I would just rather have a 2D. And this is the thing. We could jump into it because Serge basically he throws a topic at us. He says, "How would you build your own Mario game?" So I think this kind of moves right into that topic.
That was masterful. Like, you must have been podcasting for a while.
I know, right? Look at how I just do this. So I think. So my question is, such an idiot. My question is how do we incorporate a Mario next game? Like, what do we want from the next Mario game? And I guess the question is do we want 3D or do we want 2D? Mm-hmm. What exactly happens with this? And Odyssey was good. Don't get me wrong. But what I really want from Nintendo is I want someone to just go back to the well and make me a new 2D Mario with just amazing aesthetics. Mm-hmm. Like, just dip back into the well and go, we're going to change the art style completely. Yep. It almost feels like, and I'm going to say this and it's probably going to upset some people and it's whatever. I feel like Mario and the Mario team, EAD, I'd like to throw a challenge at them. It's like, stop being lazy. You are resting on your laurels. You are not pushing the envelope at all. When you look at what the Zelda team does, it is embarrassing to say you're a Nintendo company. or you're a Nintendo developer, you look at what the Zelda team does. Every single version that comes out is fresh, a new coat of paint. Everything looks amazing. They step it up. But when
they manage to challenge what it means to be a Zelda game, but still have like the core DNA of a Zelda game. Like you still get in there, like this feels like it looks completely different. Yeah, there's all these new things, but like this plays like a Zelda game. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in each of these situations. Yeah. That's masterful, man. That is a AAA quality coming from Nintendo on Zelda games.
Absolutely. So I think that would be my first step in creating a new Mario game is...
Okay, this is completely different from where I was going with it, but that's okay.
But what I mean is, and I'm not talking like, you don't have to change mechanics. You can do whatever, but I want it to look new. I want a new art style. I am tired of the new Super Mario Brothers art style. It's old. It's worn out. It's worn out its welcome. It is no longer fun to play at all. And it's time for them to go, hey man, we're going to do something different. I've said it numerous times in the past. I'll reiterate it. I would have loved if they would have stolen what they did with Kirby and the Rainbow Curse with that clay aesthetic. Give me a Mario game in a clay world. That would have been a grand slam all day long if they would have done that.
I think about the Cuphead style as well, and
that's another one
because of the Mario versus kind of like Mickey Mouse kind of thing, and I would just love to see Mario in like kind of like a Steamboat Mickey kind of or whatever it was called. Remember like the original?
Steamboat Willie.
I think that would be really. I mean that'd be a 2D thing, and it'd just be really interesting. They need to have a limitation. I think that the thing about Mario is, and this is a bit of a hypocritical thing because we've wanted them to take Mario into the modern age with 3D technology and high definition graphics and everything like that. And that's great. Mario looks great. You can see the denim stitches on his overalls and everything like that. But you've lost that creativity by limitation, right? Where like the reason he has a mustache is because on NES, like you couldn't differentiate like the top part of his head, like where his nose was because they didn't have enough pixels and colors and graphics and everything. So I feel like that's where some of the best innovations happen is where you put like everything into a bit of a box and you have to kind of limit yourself on what you're actually able to do. So whether it's a perspective or the number of colors or if it's drawn or anything like that, I feel like there has to be that would be step one in creating a new version of Mario that everybody would kind of attach onto.
Well, I feel like this. So I feel like between when you have Mario 3D, that's okay to get realistic, get crazy, do your stuff with that. But I feel like this. But I feel like this. When you're doing what they need is a new 2D game. And that doesn't have to get crazy with the graphics and looking hyperbolic and all that stuff. Like you can basically just make it, you could actually just take a new art style and throw it on there. Well, like you said, with the Cuphead type thing, but I wouldn't do that because people would just immediately go, "Oh, you're stealing from Cuphead."
It's like Cuphead, for sure.
But like, where they did the yarn with Yoshi, and then they did the clay with Kirby. Like, grab something and make it something. Like even if it was like hand drawn. Yeah, you know what I mean, like it was just like pencils, like sketching, like a sketch pad would be amazing. Like there's so much stuff that they're smart enough they could figure it out, and that would be like I would keep your realistic-esque stuff for 3D. But I feel like if you're asking me what the next Mario game is, to me it's got to be a brand new 2D, and it's got because here's the thing, 2D Mario sells above and beyond better than 3D Mario. So if you're going to come out the gates and go, we're going to give you something brand new and fresh, I feel like financial-wise, you want it to be something that's going to sell to the masses. And a 2D Mario, because here's the thing, Sean. I think back to when I was a kid, right? We played the hell out of Mario 1. When Mario 2 got announced, we lost our minds.
Yeah, you're getting another one.
And then right? So then we get Mario 3, and we lose our minds again. Right? And we're losing our minds because it's like every single game just looks better and changes and feels different than the one before it. Then we get to Super Mario World, And again, blow your mind away. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my God, this thing looks amazing. Then we get to Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and it looks like a little kid drew the whole thing with crayons, right? And it's like, oh my God. And then they stopped. They did the new Super Mario Brothers, and they never changed it again. And it's like, so to me, it's like if you want to set the world on fire, you want to reclaim your glory and basically hold Zelda down from gaining any more ground on you, you go, we're going to do a brand new 2D game that's going to blow people away. And we're going to have an art style that's like no other, and we're going to just floor people. That to me, to me, that's the thing you do. I think the other staple is you need fresh, new power-ups.
Yeah.
You can't.
Seemed like they ran out of ideas when the cat showed up.
Well, I mean, cat was 3D, so that was whatever. But it feels like they really ran out of ideas of, I would like. I just thought about this because I was thinking about Sean. I was like, what kind of aesthetic would Sean want? And I know exactly what you would want. But I'm like, that's not really kid friendly, so we can't do that. So I thought,
stop! Oh, you're gross.
What? What do you mean I'm gross?
I actually don't understand what you mean.
I was thinking like Mario with toilet paper, throwing toilet paper at people.
Oh, whatever.
But then I was like, no, you could have a mummy Mario, that like you throw the wraps and it ties up enemies.
Oh, that's funny.
And then you jump on them, right? So I was like, that could be something for like an Egyptian, like a sandy desert
very
theme.
Desert level.
Yeah, right.
That's a good idea.
That would be one power up that we could implement. And then I would like to do something kind of funny with the the coolest thing with the cape was you got the cape you could fly. It would be so cool if like they did like a New Donk City type level. And you ran into a phone booth. And then when you came out of the phone booth, you were...
Oh, you got the cape.
You get the cape
really
and then take off and stuff.
That's so good.
Just something, just something to be kind of funny and whatever with that. But, like, that to me is... Because something, and as I'm saying this, I think it back and I go, when you played Odyssey...
Well, I was going to say the Cappy was the cure to the power up situation.
Well, yeah,
for little
3D.
mini experiences with all the different characters, and like there's probably something in there that you can maybe expand out to a bit more of a solid mechanic. Like the safe part was that you could be limited to the space that you were in, based on where the characters showed up. But yeah, I think it would be really tough to go. This is a power up that's going to show up throughout the game, and it's going to be kind of like the staple. It's going to be the Tanuki, the rabbit ear or the rabbit. What kind of animal is it? Is it just a tanuki?
The tanuki's raccoon.
Like a raccoon. On the face of the thing, like that would be a little bit more tricky, and I think a mummy kind of scares people away.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. What I was thinking was in Odyssey, the coolest things were when they did the 2D levels in Odyssey. So if you were to not necessarily steal that and do that, like, but in a way, yes, because the coolest thing about that was you could be running. And then all of a sudden, the level kind of turned because the wall turned.
Oh, yeah.
So if they could implement that somehow into the game where it's a 3D Mario but a 2D Mario kind of thing would be kind of cool. Where you could jump in and then you're stuck to the wall and kind of going. I don't know. I feel like you definitely need a certain types of levels. Obviously, you get your water theme levels. Maybe there's something where, like in the water theme levels, you ride an animal, kind of like in Donkey Kong Country, where you could get on the back of the swordfish. Different things like that. Like if they could get
thinking the same thing.
If they could get into
like the big fish with the big jaws,
and
you and everything.
Yeah, so there's some stuff that they could do. I think ultimately that would make it good. But that's kind of where I'm at with this. Was there anything you want to add to this, or?
Being in Canada and we get to school back and forth on snowshoes in the wintertime, Bobby. Did you know that? But I hate snow levels. I hate ice levels, everything like that. And I would like a power up that actually made those fun. Because I think that might be the only way you cure those things. Because everybody knows you got to be slipping around on those things. So some sort of skis or some sort of...
It would be kind of cool if you could get snowshoes type thing in that. Like that's a power up where you stop sliding. Like everything else slides around, but you got your stability to it. That would be kind of cool. And then if you lost,
maybe it's like a mountain climbing getup, like with spiky shoes, and maybe Mario needs a grappling hook. Maybe that's the thing that he really needs, because everybody loves a good grappling hook. Let's be honest. But that, like, if you could maybe even like Spider-Man around, you like sitting in the cave and you just kind of like shoot up and then you swing and then you shoot up again.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's what I want from a Mario. That's my answer.
Cool.
I want to Spider-Man around with my Super Mario. That's he put on like a faux Spider-Man suit.
Oh, Jesus.
Just
let's not get like Bad Bit, okay? We don't need to bring Bad Bit into this thing. Okay, so
it's me, a Spider-Man. Yahoo!
So next topic we want to talk about. If we ran Nintendo, how would we handle the Mario Kart Tour situation right now?
What do you mean? We won't change anything.
I want to preface this, all right? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like we have an issue here. We have a real serious disconnect with Nintendo fans.
In the community, yeah.
In the community.
Yeah.
You guys, I see it every single time Nintendo releases a mobile game. Everybody's hyped up. They can't wait for it. They download it. And then within 2-3 hours, everybody's posting about how it's the quickest game they've deleted. They're sick of it. It's horrible. Why do we have this? This is dumb. This is stupid. It's not for us. Why anybody would get this game... Number one, why anybody would get this game other than the fact of, like, let me just see what it is beyond me. This game is never going to be for me. This game was never going to be for me. I have a real true Mario Kart in my hands at all times with Mario Kart 8. I don't need Mario Kart Tour. The Switch is a portable console, so if I really want to play Mario Kart, I just take my Switch with me. This is for people that don't home console game. The idea, Nintendo has said it from jump, is our idea is to get people that play mobile to play our games. Our idea is to get the kids that are stuck with when you go to your dinner at nights, right? You go to a restaurant and you see all these kids staring down at their cell phones or their iPads. The idea is to get those kids playing Switches.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So you get this kid who plays this game, and then he talks to a buddy in school, and the kid in school has a Switch. Hey, man, I'm not playing that Mario Kart. I'm playing this Mario Kart. And then all of a sudden it's like, Mom, I need a Switch. I need Mario Kart. Done. That's this whole premise. That's what this is about. But I feel like the Nintendo community, God loves you. God love yous. But I think you guys get a little too emotional with it where you feel like Nintendo owes you something and that like the pricing is wrong. Let's be honest. Nintendo is experimenting. They are trying to change the game with pricing. They tried to give you the buy all in free. Like you buy it and that's it. And everybody rejected it. Everybody got mad. The only ones that were happy, Nintendo fans.
Nintendo fans, yeah.
Mobile fans lost their minds. They were so mad because that's not how they're used to playing.
Nuts?
It's almost like when a company brings microtransactions to us and we get offended. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ooh, good
we don't like that when that comes to our games. They don't like when they do the all-in buy. Apple is experimenting with something now, right? So Apple's trying...
that's the thing. The experimenting is like almost like 2 years late.
It
seems like things are starting to get figured out on a lot of fronts, on the microtransactions, on the subscriptions, and everything like that. So it's like, if they had a chance to really like determine the direction of everything going, like the time was actually when Mario Run was out, because we were all kind of like, ooh, if they crack this nut, we could get rid of all those other things, but it didn't work.
Yeah, but then you look at a game like Fire Emblem that's working like gangbusters.
Well, it's because it's the tried and true mobile model. So it's
Animal
really
Crossing.
Surprising.
Animal Crossing is making them a lot of money. Lost Regalia. It got so bad. And that's the other thing I want to say. Like when people are looking at this Mario Kart thing and getting mad at Nintendo, you got to remember, they got yelled at by their developers because they were telling them less microtransactions in the games. Like, we want our fans to play these games and enjoy them, not feel like they're pulling money out of their pocket every 2 seconds. So Nintendo, I feel like, is doing what the mobile market is dictating to them. Not that they want to do that.
That's why they didn't want to go in to begin with, because they just saw the way that market works. And it's like, you don't get the choice that you have when you're one of the top 3. you're going to be one of a trillion people making games over here. You're instead of like they can truly dictate the direction of the console market, and I think they are. Like this hybrid thing has completely changed the game, where they don't like to follow, and I think that's why they hesitated to go into mobile forever, and they're starting to find out that there's only a couple ways to really you kind of slot into like this or that, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So I understand it, man. The timing thing is the biggest thing. Like I think there was a moment in time where they could have announced like a $5 a month subscription to Mario Kart, and it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But Game Pass has since come out, and then it's particularly this Apple Arcade thing at exactly the same price.
Yeah.
And you get all of these games, so the comparisons are really easy. But I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I feel like Dr. Mario is a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's really worked out for them either. It does seem like something that they could have maybe rolled into Apple Arcade. And I don't know if you want to go into this, but like, is there a partnership that is possible between Nintendo and Apple with that arcade business? Because some companies have been around this. Like Square has been the premium prior to Nintendo really stepping up. Square is the company that comes out with $15 mobile games, and they somehow made it work out, dude.
I can tell you. Okay, so I can tell you from this perspective, if they would have teamed with Apple, big mistake.
Do you think so?
Well, here's the reason why I say that. We just announced at a TUI this week that we have a mobile game coming, right? Mm-hmm. It's launching on Apple. Man, there was so many people pissed that we're not coming to Android. Mm. So if you go and you do an Apple Arcade, I guarantee you Apple wants some exclusivity behind it. And we know that that's not what people want. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to have that. So I feel like they're in a situation of they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. As Apple people, we would have been fine with it. Oh, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't own an Apple device, you're going to be pissed. And there's a lot of people that don't own Apple devices.
It's very on brand for Nintendo to be like, well, you're only over here. You kind of like, and there's so many similarities between those two companies. It seems to be a bit of a fit. What it is, I'm not arguing it. Are people going to be upset? Of course people are going to be upset. Yeah. But Nintendo does like to be kind of like I'm over here. Like they kind of tease you a little bit. And they make you, they kind of play hard to get a little bit. And make you go spend money on a thing that perhaps otherwise you wouldn't be spending money on. And that's where the deal with Apple would really be lucrative, I think, for both of them.
Okay, so this is going to get a little weird.
Yeah, because you know what you want.
No, I don't feel Nintendo doesn't care about money when it comes to mobile games. Granted, yes, they're a company. Yes, they want to make money.
Yes.
To me, Nintendo is all about, this is an advertising thing for them. This is a way for them to advertise Mario Kart to people that would never see Mario Kart. This is, if we can make our money back, we're fine. Yeah. So as long as we make enough money to make the cost of money for the development cycle, we're fine. And then everything else is gravy. So we don't care that it's exclusive to one or the other, because the idea is you want Mario Kart in front of as many eyes as possible. Mm-hmm. So then, like I said, here's little Timmy. He's sitting there and he's playing his mom's iPhone at the restaurant. He's playing Mario Kart, goes to school, talks about it, and they're like, no. Let's play the Switch. And that's, it's a different animal. I think Nintendo views mobile as a different animal. And the reason why I say this, and before you start screaming at me and you start going like, not you, I'm talking about people.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But before people start screaming at me, Greg Caldwell, so I'm talking about. Just kidding. I love you, Greg. I'm just kidding. No, I know. But before people go like, no, they're a business, they want to make money. Do they? Because they did just put the squash on Lost Dragalia and on Animal Crossing and told them to cut back on the microtransactions because they don't want to feel like they're taking advantage of their Nintendo fans that are coming to play these games, as well as just people in general. They don't want to be that type of company that just eats up money. Dude, they could be making millions and millions of dollars on those games. They cut back the amount of money they would be making just because they were looking at it as, this is advertising. This is a way for us to get it out there to people that, let's be honest, they're not going to play our games.
Yeah.
We have to get those kids. Nintendo used to be the entry point for kids. It's not anymore. The cell phone, this stupid thing, is the entry point to all kids now. And until you get, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to invade here. So what's the next step? Not a PlayStation, not an Xbox, a Switch. Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do. That's where I'm at.
That makes sense. It'll be interesting to see how everything goes on now, though. And I think the last thing that I would say about it is, if this subscription thing really takes off, like it's an interesting opportunity. Yeah. And to your point about testing, like, would you put a game in there? Not necessarily all your eggs into the Apple Arcade basket, but perhaps there's something there to be like, just test it out and just see, like, maybe Mario Run is the one that kind of goes in there as something that was a product before. It's a $10 game, but it's all included there.
I might move old games in, but I think out the gates, that wasn't what Apple was looking for. Apple was looking for just exclusivity, on some level. And maybe you don't move a Mario Run in there. Maybe you do develop a game just for Apple. And you just go to, because I think it's not going to be long, and Google's going to do the same thing. Google will introduce something that's going to be, it'll probably be like Stadia. They'll do something that'll be like a Stadia thing, and that's basically what they have. Yeah. It's going to become their thing.
It's about time, man, because the mobile market is such a crapshoot. You just never really know, and the subscription model just by nature provides at least a little bit of stability to it. I don't know if it's going to fund the whole damn thing, but it at least gives a baseline of funding for all these different games, because there's just trillions of apps. They actually stopped. Like, remember when iPhone first came out? They're like over 1 million apps. Like, they were talking about all these choices as if it was a good thing, and now you look at it like there's over 1 trillion things. It's like, it's actually a problem. Yeah. Right. So they stopped talking about that because of it's almost like a crash is coming. But I do think I would argue that there should be a test, and I'd love to throw it out to people. Leave a comment if you made it this far on the video. What game would you guys put into Apple Arcade from a Mario? What franchise? Like, what is it? Maybe and my answer I would say is maybe an F-Zero or something like that. Something a little bit weird. Something I haven't really touched in a little while, and I think F-Zero would actually be pretty good on mobile.
Yeah, that's true. Something definitely. I feel like they got to bring over and do something with it. But we'll see. Got one more topic.
An endless F-Zero runner.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, good thing we got one more. I had another game I could put on mobile.
No, we're not putting that game on mobile. You just relax.
What are you talking about? That's the perfect.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Perfect.
It's the perfect way to end every show and every console.
I'll keep going.
So, so Brendan Myers, another topic from our patrons.
How do you submit a topic, Bobby? How is Grouchie Serge and Brendan Myers getting their
they're a member Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can submit your questions to us on If We Were Nintendo, as well as other podcasts that we have that are Patreon exclusive. You can submit questions to Sean Capri on his Pants Patreon thing, and also on. You got your whatever. Or you got all the
locked in on the stupid name of that podcast.
Yeah,
the Pants Patreon podcast for patrons podcast. Of course.
Yeah, whatever it is.
It's an AMA for me and you and Capri.
Okay. So anyway, so if we were at Nintendo, would you change the discount that you offer with the Nintendo Online voucher? If so, how? Especially when you're getting discounts with both Xbox and Sony online subscriptions. So here's the thing, and I don't know how, because I haven't been involved with PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold, Xbox Live Gold, whatever the hell they're calling it. They got 90 names over there anymore. I'm not sure exactly what their discounts are. Yeah. I know that you get a discounted price based upon just being a member of it. But they don't have a rewards program. Is that correct? Am I right?
That's
with
right.
that?
Yeah. Microsoft has some point systems, but it's somewhat unrelated. It's a little bit confusing. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we should maybe center this conversation around. Is just like, how confusing and how simple is it? I think there's a lot of brand identification and consistency with Nintendo, in that stuff just does not go on sale, and you just don't get.
Well, I disagree. That's the old guard. The new guard, it's been a lot different.
A little bit.
We've gotten games on sale from Nintendo recently. But But also, you got to remember this.
Which ones? Because I think you're right. There's difference, but like Legend of Zelda, you go buy that. Breath of the Wild, it's still $80 game. Mario Odyssey still a $60 game.
Yeah.
Those games are full price, but maybe second party stuff for some of the.
Well, they have it like Mario Tennis was on sale not that long ago.
Yeah, Mario Tennis.
I'm just saying they do.
Okay.
This is why I'm saying this, because there was a time when Nintendo never put their games on sale. Never. Right. And not that long ago, they did like a 30% off on all their games. And it was like every single Nintendo game you could get. Like Odyssey was on there. Yes. And Breath of the Wild. It was a few months ago.
Maybe it didn't make it over the wall. We get the
possibly not. Instead. Maybe. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, my point is this. We get gold coins on everything we buy. Physical, digital. We get these gold coins. That can then give you a discount on every game. Not just Nintendo games. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a one-up on the other guys that the other guys aren't doing that Nintendo does. I do know, and I don't know the details, I saw recently that Nintendo's looking at trying to make changes to the way indie developers are giving sales because the way that whole deluge is. And I could fix that for you, Nintendo. How about you make a cohesive eShop that's actually easy for people to recognize and find stuff? Then you won't have indie developers screaming and throwing stuff on sale day one because you're destroying the market. That crap eShop is destroying the market. Get mad at me, people. Get upset with me. That's fine. But it is horrible. And if you back Nintendo on that and you say it's a good eShop, you're the problem. You're part of the problem. You're telling Nintendo
Bobby,
it's
okay.
Heart,
first of all, watch your heart. Get a little upset.
I know. I can feel it's ticking irregularly.
I can't help you from here, man.
Yes, you can. You just call 911. Just say this idiot just collapsed on the camera. Get over there.
When I called an Uber from your place, it apparently was from next door, and that might have been why that pizza went to the wrong place. Anyway, it's a whole other story. Yeah. I am one of the people who say that the reason the eShop looks the way that it does is because the data tells Nintendo that it's working. Games sell better on Nintendo than other systems. So there's that part of it. Would we change what they're doing with it? I think that they've landed on something absolutely very special with the vouchers. And I bought 2 sets of those vouchers, and I love it. Now, am I buying more games on other systems? I actually don't think that I think I'm spending more on Nintendo. This is just like a single person, like a one-person individual sample size here. But I'm not buying full-price games on other systems.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like, with all the subscriptions and all the things, like it's pretty rare for me to buy a game on day one.
Yeah.
I got Link's Awakening on discount because there's a pre-order special with Walmart, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like if I'm not getting that kick, then I don't know, man. There's not a lot of games. So the voucher, like they've already got my money.
Yeah.
I haven't even redeemed the vouchers yet. I haven't even got all the games yet. So I've still got Animal Crossing, and I've got one more game I think that I can choose. And I wish, that is one thing. It's pretty rare for me to go back to Nintendo or back to Xbox and PlayStation and go, I wish I had something Nintendo is doing. I think the voucher thing is amazing.
Well, here's something too. I just went on. I'm literally going to do this next week. Next week I'm going to do this. I just went on the eShop last night, right? Because I'm going to buy Dragon Quest XI.
Ooh,
so, in looking at that, here is Luigi's Mansion 3 looking me in the face and going, if you buy me, pre-order me, purchase me, we're going to give you double gold coins right now.
Oh,
so that's an incentive for me to go, you
good.
know what? I'm getting something out of here, so I might as well take advantage over here. I think it's all based upon the relativity or how it's worded. You know, yes, you're not getting a discount. You don't have Nintendo going like, hey, we're giving you 20% off on this game. They're essentially saying to you, stockpile your gold coins, and you could get whatever amount of money you want off on all these different games. You actually get free games, too, if you want. I think I prefer that as opposed to, hey, we're going to give you 10% off on all your games or whatever. I don't care about that. Like, that 10% doesn't make me go buy a game.
Well, and it takes a choice out of your hands, actually. The way Nintendo does it is like you are allowed to spend your coins in the way that you want to rather than wait for a sale that may or may not come that gives a discount on a game that you may or may not want.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably part of it. And it has to be different. It can't be the same because as somebody who plays all 3 consoles, the extra discount you get from Xbox Live and from PlayStation Plus, I think it actually kind of like you stop noticing it.
Yeah.
Like it becomes not especially like, well, of course I get that.
Yeah.
Right. So between those two things, that you have less choice and you stop noticing it, I think those are weak points for what's happening on the others. And I think you stick with what Nintendo's doing.
And see, here's the thing that I feel with Nintendo, with them not giving discounts on games. It holds the value.
Can you hear my dog? I'm sorry. Can you hear that dog?
Nope. Just
drive
relax.
Me nuts again.
You're driving me nuts, interrupting me. So what what really gets me upset is when Sean interrupts me. That gets me upset. No, the truth of the matter is,
you go nuts.
Go ahead, whatever. So the main thing is when you're sitting there and you look at, I'm losing my mind. Sean walked away, and I'm losing my mind. I apologize. No, the one thing that I look at is physical games. So when you have physical games that you can go into the store and buy, right? I can get games cheaper physically on PlayStation and Xbox than I can typically digitally. Now, that's not all cases, but most cases, especially brand new games. They would sell a game like Fallout 76 at full price on their shops, but yet you could go to GameStop and have this crazy sale where they took 40% off the game right off the jump. When you look at stuff like that, it's like, I don't necessarily buy digitally the competition games for that discount. That discount doesn't affect me either way because I know retail-wise I can get a better discount. Now with Nintendo, I can't get a better discount than what they're giving with the gold coins. Even on retail shops, like Astral Chain's not going to discount anytime soon. Link's Awakening's not going to discount anytime soon. Now, you might get crazy Black Friday sales, but that aside, you're just not going to get a random Tuesday sale where Link's Awakening is $40. It's just not going to happen, So where I look at it and go, I'd rather just buy my games on Nintendo, get my digital. And by the way, you can still get the gold coins with the carts. You just put the carts in, go to the. For those who don't know, go to the game, push the start button, and it says my Nintendo program or my Nintendo coins or whatever it is. You click it, and it'll give you the coins for that. It'll give you the gold coins for that. So Nintendo's giving a rewards program to everything. Yeah. And to me, that's a better discount service than actually getting a discount. I'd rather have that because then I can, again, acquire the points and do what I want to do. No different than Best Buy. That's why I prefer to shop at Best Buy because they give me the rewards program and I get, as I buy so much, they give me so much money to go buy on other stuff.
Well, rest in peace for that program. I think the bigger issue, and perhaps this is another topic for another day. Feel free to submit this topic if you guys want to hear it. How do you compete with Game Pass? Like, I don't think we've actually talked about that. It's not necessarily that other systems or platforms are giving better discounts. It's that legit, I'm not buying indie games on Switch because either they launch day and date on Game Pass or they'll eventually come to Game Pass. Like Bad North is another game that I was like gonna check out on Switch. It was in my cart. And I'm like, it's probably coming to Game Pass, and sure enough, there it is.
Well, if we were an Xbox show, that would be very important. But
what do you mean? You can still compete with Xbox. That'll be our next show.
This is how we ran Nintendo, not Xbox.
Nintendo was running fine.
You just keep that stuff for your car power, your horsepower podcast over there, okay?
Well, this show has run its course. We fixed everything. This show's shutting down. We're gonna, if we run Xbox from here on out, because Lord knows that ship needs saving as well, man.
Oh yeah, you say that now because Xbox don't listen to this show. You wouldn't say that.
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying.
Anyway,
I just feel like when we started this show, it was the Wii U. We probably should have started if we ran Xbox back in the Don Matrick.
The thing is like you would think I would like Nintendo. So we know how we're having like these trade of games.
Yeah.
Nintendo just needs to send Kirby over to Xbox just to end it all.
You're just waiting for it. Oh my god, dude! Can you imagine?
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. Number 168, episode 168 is now in your ear holes. Thank you guys for listening, checking out everything we do. You can check out everything that Sean Capri does over on the interwebs, over on Twitter's at Sean Capri. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You can also check out his Twitch page, twitch.tv/Sean Capri. Sean Capri, actually, not Sean Capri.
Can't even help yourself.
I know.
Say it another time on the show.
No, that's fine. and then you can check out everything that I do, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
I'm waiting for you to say you're not going to say bye. You always do that.
You're not going to say goodbye?
Yeah, say bye. I'll slice that in.